Is Crompton House School, Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award, Route 3, Day 1. Starting your route from Littleborough, and first of all, just again a quick disclaimer that the blue line that's on this won't automatically and correctly correspond exactly with the route map, but I'll try and point things out using the arrow here. But you're going to be starting off here from Holy Trinity Church, which is very close to the centre of Littleborough. In fact, from Holy Trinity we go across here underneath the railway viaduct, and then you're going to turn to the left. That's going to then take you take one of these right turnings here, which will go over the canal and then into this little valley here, where you've got the trees on the left hand side, you've got the little pond, small lake down there, and a flat top hill over here on the right hand side. As you come around this bend here, the pathway will continue in front of you, but you should be on the lookout for not for this path which hugs and has the flat top hill on its right hand side. Not that path. You're going over here and following this pathway. That pathway all becomes here, I suspect, so it looks like a walled path there. Follow that. And then come here, where you can actually come out where there's a bit of a normal road track. Some buildings. You're more or less taking here a sort of a 180 kind of bearing and moving. In here until the point that you get here, where you actually come to a narrow but still tarmacked road. There is a stream that just runs on the other side of the road here as well, and you now need to spin this round here. So coming out here onto this road, you now need to follow that road, which is going to go around here. You've got sports fields here on the right hand side. You see a rugby pitch there, cricket square, all right down and cut, and onto here and underneath the motorway bridge. The motorway bridge does not look like that in reality. The 3D thing just doesn't quite work on the motorway bridge. It's not that. It will be quite a thing above you. I'm going to tilt up again so I can show you following, where you would have been following that road, but you don't just blindly follow that road around, because you're going to come off here and end up walking along pathways and it's most likely to be this pathway here. Down. You can make out this pathway here. It's coming up and around until you get here to Tunhill Path. As you can see, it's all about, you notice how the line is actually kind of floating in the air, which is why it's kind of slightly off centre. But here is Tunhill Path. This is your second checkpoint. Sorry, your first checkpoint was back down there. So you've got two checkpoints in pretty close order. When you've got round to Tunhill Path, and I'll just wait for it to pan around, so bring it in a little bit quicker. You're then going to be walking off this direction, aiming for these overhead power cables. You're going to walk underneath there's the electricity pylon there. You can just about make the shadow out of it. But you're going to go over the electricity pylons, sorry, under the electricity pylons, until you come around. Again, I need to tilt up for this. Until you come not to this junction, but just before this junction, there's a path that comes back on itself and it actually arcs around here. Going downhill, and your ultimate objective, what you're aiming for now, is Ogden Reservoir, which you can make out here. So down here towards Ogden Reservoir. From Ogden Reservoir, there is a pathway up here. I'm going to go into this bit here, and then pan back. So the pathway up there onto this road here, into this complex of buildings here, and through and round, and up then this track. Again, it's a very, very well visible, easily visible pathway, which is taking then away from the reservoir. You follow it around, some buildings there, some fine buildings around here, still following that same path. Coming around, not going out here. Here is a main road, this is the main road here, which you might hear vehicles on, but we're not going on to that. Coming around here through some more farm buildings. It's actually just one heck of a very long, slow left-hand turn, if you look at it on the map. I'm going to come around. This here is Rudin Reservoir. I'm going to walk along here and down. And as you might be able to make out here, as you come over and start to make a descent, you're going to be aiming really for that kind of corner of the reservoir, but not quite getting that far, because see here, you get down to this point before turning and coming along this pathway here, which is a little bit more difficult to find. But this pathway here, which traverses around then this hill. Goes down into the valley. There's the dam wall of Rudin Reservoir, which you'll have walked near to, and then you're going to come up here. Through this farm here, and up to this point here. Let me just pan out, tilt the other way. Go to this road here, which will then take you and bring you out here. And this building here is the final checkpoint for day one. It's the Ram's Head restaurant, and I will put the checkpoint marker somewhere around here, or it's more likely actually that there will be staff in that area. Okay, from there you're going to turn left and walk along this road. You need to be extremely careful walking along this stretch of road. The speed limit is 50 miles per hour, but vehicles fly by there at some quite frightening speeds sometimes. So make sure, please, that you've got your wits about you when you're crossing the road. There's some water authority buildings, I think they are up here, to do with the reservoir. You can go past. In fact, if you get to this point here, you can walk on this track, which is well away from the road. Then you're going to go in, away from the road, here. Carry on along this track, this path. Tilt again now, because that is going to bring you then that path there is going to bring you to Redican Reservoir, which is here. Walk along its dam wall, along the side of it here. And then up here, away from the reservoir, until you get to a clearly marked path, which is going to come back on yourself, come back on this side. When I say clearly marked, it's not as clear as the one that's going straight in front of you, but it's certainly clear enough, I think. And that will bring you then down to this path junction where you're going to turn left along here, and you've got here in front of you Dowry Reservoir. Walk around, and from Dowry Reservoir you're then going to pick up the Pennine Bridleway, crossing over this road, again being very, very careful to cross over that road. It's extremely dangerous. So some cars doing some extremely dangerous speeds. Walk up the Pennine Bridleway, which is nice and straight, can't get that bit wrong, hopefully, until then you come to a junction here where you'll turn to the right and follow now this track, which is walled, I think, on both sides. This is Moor Lane, although of course there's no signposts on it. Then you'll come to this junction here of pathways, at which point you're going to turn to the left. So sorry about that. We were just up here where you turn to the left, and now you're going to make a descent here. You're going to come down here to get to this point here. I think it goes down from stones to more sort of tarmac. There's a farm building in there. But what you should be able to see is Castleshaw Upper Reservoir here, and you're going to walk towards Castleshaw Upper, walk along its dam wall. You'll see on your right hand side then Castleshaw Lower Reservoir. And then you're pretty much sorted, because when you get to the end, you come back, you turn to the right, come back down this pathway, this track here, and then follow the track around. And basically, you follow the track and don't end up in the water, you're going to end up at the campsite, which is here.